चरणारविंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री रघुनाथ भट्ट गोस्वामी का सोचो, तपोवन मिश्र पुत्र रघुनाथ भट्टाचार्य प्रभु के देखिते जोगे छड़ी सर्व कार्य। तपोवन मिश्र का पुत्र रघुनाथ भट्टाचार्य क्या, जो कोई 3 वेदों का एक वेद भी पूरा याद कर देंगे और मुंह जबानी बोल सकता है, इस बोलता है भट्टाचार्य। तो इसलिए तपोवन मिश्र पुत्र रघुनाथ भट्टाचार्य। जो लोग ये सब नहीं समझता, ये लोग उनका शंका पैदा होता। जैसे विद्यासागर का वहाँ जब पढ़ने के लिए गया था, तब पूछा उनका पिता का नाम, तब उन्होंने बोला ठाकुरदास बंदोपाध्याय। माता का नाम, जब माता का नाम बोला भगवती देवी, तब बोलता है नॉट सो स्मार्ट, इसलिए पढ़। तो यहाँ समझते नहीं। प्रभु को देखने के लिए सब काम का छोड़कर चला गया। कहाँ चला गया? जगन्नाथपुरी। काशी হইতে চলিলা গৌর পথ দিয়া, সঙ্গে সেবক এক চলে ঝাঁপি লইয়া। कैसे चला? काशी से पूरी का तरफ चला और साथ में एक सेवक लेके गया, के लिए उन्होंने कपड़ा सब लेके जाएगा। ठीक से जो लोग नहीं पढ़ते हैं तो वो उसका समझ में आता है। इसलिए हमारा जब प्रदर्शन दिखाया वहाँ, तो उनमें वही चल रहा है। संग जब महाप्रभु के साथ चला, जो काशी, उसके साथ वो बात नहीं उल्लेख किया, देखा है नहीं। यही मते रघुनाथ आइला नीला चले। इसी तरीका से रघुनाथ नीलाचल पहुंच गया। महाप्रभु चरणे गया नीला कुतु पदे, जाके महाप्रभु का चरण में शामिल हुआ। बड़ा आनंद से दंडवत प्रणाम करी पड़िला चरणे, प्रभु रघुनाथ जानी कोइला आदि। ये जाकर महाप्रभु का चरणों में बड़ा आनंद से उत्साह से प्रणाम किया। कैसे प्रणाम किया? दंडवत। दंडवत जैसे गिर जाता है, इसमें भी गिर गया। ভালো হইল আইলা দেখো কমল লোচন, আজি আমার ইহা करिबे प्रसाद भोजन। अच्छा हुआ तुमने आया। अब जाकर के कमल लोचन पद्मलोचन ए जगन्नाथ को दर्शन कीजिए और आज हमारे यहाँ भोजन करना। गोविंद रे कहिए भाषा देवाइल स्वरूपादि भक्तगण सने मिलाइला। गोविंद को कहा कि कहकर उनका रहने के लिए एक स्थान दे दिया, बासा दिया। बासा इसको बोलता है जहाँ अपना जाति मुकाम नहीं है, कुछ दिन के लिए देता है, इसको बासा बोलता है। तो ये बासा देवा स्वरूप आदि भक्तगण सने मिलाइला। এই মতে প্রভু সনে রহিলা অষ্টমাস। দিনে দিনে प्रभुर कृपाয় बढ़े स्वरूपादि सब भक्तगण के साथ इनको मिला दिया और परिचय कर दिया। और इसमें भी उनका प्रभु का साथ 8 महीना रहा। अब प्रभु का कृपा से उनका उल्लास बढ़ते ही रहता है। अष्टमास रही प्रभु भट्टे विदाय दिला, विवाह ना करी हो बोले निषेध करिला। 8 महीना का बाद चैतन्य देव ने इनको विदा कर दिया और ये भी आदेश किया शादी नहीं करना। वृद्ध पिता माता जाए करो सेवन। কোথায় ছিল
मध्य मध्य महाप्रभु रे करें निमंत्रण, घर भात करें आर विविध व्यंजन।
यहाँ तो नहीं। না ভালো হইল, আচ্ছা হুয়া। দেখো কমল নয়, তারপর আজি আমার ইয়া করিবে প্রসাদ ভোজন। অষ্টমাস রহি প্রভু কহে প্রভু ভট্ট বিদায় দিলা। स्वरूपादि भट्टगण सने मिलाइला। এই মতে প্রভু সনে রহিলা অষ্টমাস। দিনে দিনে প্রভুর কৃপায় বাড়ে উল্লাস। অষ্টমাস রহি প্রভু ভট্ট বিদায় দিলা, विवाह ना करियो बोली निषेध किया। दोनों को महाप्रभु निषेध किया था कि शादी करना नहीं। दोनों कौन है? यही रघुनाथ भट्ट, गोपाल भट्ट, ये दोनों को ऐसा बोला। वृद्ध पिता माता जाई करो सेवन, वैष्णव पास भागवत करो अध्ययन। पिता माता का पास जाकर उनको सेवा करना और वैष्णव का पास भागवत अध्ययन करना। इसलिए वैष्णव का पास ना पढ़ने से ये समझेगा नहीं भागवत। चैतन्य देव बोला जाओ भागवत पढ़ो वैष्णव स्थाने। दूसरी जगह में एकांत आश्रय करो चैतन्य चरणे, चैतन्य भक्तगणे नित्य कर संग, तबे तो जानिबे सिद्धांत समुद्र तरफ। भागवत वैष्णव का पास पढ़ो, इसलिए समझना बड़ा कठिन। जैसे भागवत में एक एक बात में 2-3 किस्म का लोग उसका एक्सप्लेन किया। कैसे 2-3? जैसे रासस्थली से कृष्ण अंतर्धान हुआ, चला गया, तो राधा रानी उनका विरह में अस्थिर हो गया। पहले राधा रानी तक दिया, बाद में उनका पीछे कृष्ण तक दिया। तो उसी के लोग समझता नहीं, इसलिए जब राधा रानी कहते हैं मैं नहीं चल सकती, तो बोला हमारा कंधा पर चढ़ जाओ। तो चढ़ने के लिए गया, तो विरह में इसमें से बहु लोग बहु किस्म का एक करता है। जैसे बोला कृष्ण सबका सभ्य है, कृष्ण का सभ्य कोई नहीं। तो राधा रानी कांधे चढ़ने के लिए गया तो चला गया। लेकिन वैष्णवाचार्य इसमें क्या बोला, ये उनका लिए संभव है कांधे चढ़ने के लिए जाना, और कृष्ण भी उन कांधे लेंगे उनको। जब देखा कि दूसरी आ रहा है तो उस वक्त उन्होंने कृष्ण अंतर्धान हुआ, तब राधा रानी मूर्छित हो गई। तो जो साहब सुखी पीछे आ रहा था, ये लोग का उनका प्रति क्या हुआ, स्नेह हुआ, ममता। क्यों? ये हम लोग तो कृष्ण का अनुसंधान कर सकता हो, ये तो ये भी नहीं कर सकते। ये दया हुआ, जेलासी बाबा आया नहीं, तो इसमें भी कौन समझेगा? इसी को हिसाब से वो जो भागवत बताया जन्मादृश्य, जो तो इस श्लोक में जो सब लोग बोलता है राधा रानी का नाम भागवत में नहीं है। तो ये है जो लोग पेचा और वो दिन में दिखता नहीं, कब दिखता है? रात में, दिन में दिखता नहीं। उलू, संस्कृत में इसको बोलते हैं उलू। उलू के नाम देखे जन सूर्य की रोड, वो देखते हैं। तो इसमें भी यही सब रहस्य, गूढ़ रहस्य यदि भक्तों का कृपा ना हो तो कौन समझेगा? वैष्णव का पास भागवत अध्ययन करना, नहीं तो उल्टा अर्थ। इसमें आप एक सुदामा के बारे में भी बोला। सुदामा मांगने के लिए गया, लेकिन उन्होंने कृष्ण के पास मांग नहीं सीखा, और उन्होंने जो लेके गया था, कोई तंडुल बोलता है, कोई चिपीटक बोलता है, दोनों ही है। बोला चिपीटक कैसा है, तंडुल का माफी बड़ा कठिन, हार्ड। तो वो ले गए, इसको वहां खोलने में शर्मिंदा हुआ, शर्म आया, कैसे खोलो, कैसे दो, इसलिए छुपा के रखते हैं। और कृष्ण ने उनके जबरदस्ती पूछा कि सगा तुमने शादी किया, अगर किया तो तुम्हारा धर्म पत्नी मेरे लिए कुछ कुछ दिया? और संकुचित होकर उसको छिपाने लगा तो कृष्ण निकल दिया। उसका बाद हास्य रस लाया। क्या हास्य रस? ये तुम्हारा ये आदत तो पुरानी है, ये नया नहीं कुछ। जब गुरु माता चना दिया था तुमने उस खा लिया, हमको हिस्सा दिया नहीं। मैंने पूछा शोका तुम कुछ खा रहे हो? तो तुमने जवाब दिया इस ठंडा में दांत दांत में बचता है, और तुमने ख्वाब दिखता है ये नहीं कुछ खा रहा हूं। ऐसा लेके उसको खाया, 2 दफा खाया। इसमें पालों को मैं बैठा कर उनको चरण धुलाया, सब कुछ किया। इतना ही संकोचित तो हुआ और वही सुख भाव उदित तो हुआ नहीं, इसलिए संकोच किया नहीं। तब उन्होंने उनको विदाई लेके चला। लेकिन उनका धर्मपत्नी जो उनका पास कुछ लेने के लिए भेजा था, ये बात निकला ही नहीं, बोला नहीं, चला गया। अभी वहां है, इन्होंने मौन ही मौन सोचने लगे, मेरा धर्मपत्नी तो मुझे भेजे थे ये यहाँ से कुछ मांग के लाना, मैं तो जुबान ही खुला नहीं, तो जाके क्या उत्तर देंगे यदि पूछे? ये बड़ा सोच पर चल रही। तो वहां भी सवाल किया, ये भगवान तो है भक्तास्ति हरो प्रणत बाल भवाब्धिपोतम, भक्तों का आरती हरण करते, इनका तो आरती हरण किया नहीं, ये तो आरती हो गई चला। तो उसमें हमारा गोस्वामी वर्ग चक्रवर्ती पाद ये बताया, क्या बताया? कृष्ण शर्म से नहीं बोल सका, जिसका तुम्हारा इच्छा पूर्ति हो जाएगा। इतना बोलने से कोई बिगड़ता? यदि नहीं बिगड़ता, इतना क्यों नहीं बोला? इसमें संकोच क्यों रखा? तो उसने बोला कि भगवान शर्म से बोला नहीं। भगवान का जो 64 गुण है उसमें से एक है लज्जा, लज्जा से बोला नहीं। क्या लज्जा है? कि मैं तो अपना बात को पूरा नहीं कर पाया। मैं तो गीता में बताया है, ये यथामां प्रबद्धन्ते तां तथैव भजन्ति, जो मुझको जैसे भजन करेगा मैं भी ऐसा ही करूंगा। इन्होंने मांग के मेरा लिए लाया और मैं तो मांग के लेके इनको कुछ दिया नहीं, इसलिए शर्म से छुपा के वो दे दिया। जब इसको मालूम हुआ तब दूसरी औरतों को अच्छा लगा नहीं। बात तो सही है, गुण 64 गुण में एक है लज्जा। बड़ा आदमी को कोई अपना बात पूर्ण ना करने से माफी मांगता है, मैं बड़ा लज्जित हूँ, मैं ये नहीं कर सकता। किसी को भी ऐसा भी देखा जाता है, अपना बात पूरा ना करे तो शर्मिंदा हो जाता है। फिर क्या बोला? पुनर्भी एक बार आसिबे नीलाचले एत कही कंठमाला दिला तार गले। पुनः और एक दफा आना नीलाचल। इसलिए रघुनाथ भट्ट गोस्वामी 16 महीना महाप्रभु का साथ रहा और रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी 16 साल रहा। এত কহি কণ্ঠমালা दिला ताल गले, ऐसा बोल के जो माला मिला था ये उनको दे दिया प्रसाद। जहाँ प्रीति है वहाँ अपना माला देता है, ये है प्रीति का लक्षण। जहाँ मर्यादा बात है, घनिष्ठ कम है, उनको देता है। आलिंगन करी प्रभु तारे विदाय दिला, प्रेमे गल गल हट्ट कांदीते लागिला। क्रंदन, ये जो क्रंदन ये शोक से नहीं, ये क्रंदन है प्रेम से। प्रेमाश्रु और ये जो शोकाश्रु एक नहीं होता। भक्त भी रोते हैं विरह में और शोक में जगत का लोग भी रोते हैं, दोनों एक है। ये शोक का समाप्ति है, विरह का समाप्ति होता नहीं, निरंतर वही याद ही होता है। ऐसी बात होती है। आप बोलो अभी, क्योंकि देर हो जाएगा और ज्यादा बोले था।
अलंकार में की माला
So today Srila Maharaj he started speaking on Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. We have already heard about 5 Goswamis. So today Srila Maharaj is speaking about Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. तपन मिश्रेर पुत्र रघुनाथ भट्टाचार्य प्रभु के देखिते चले छाड़ी सर्व कार्य. Even though Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami he was able to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kashi when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Kashi while going to Vrindavan, and then from Vrindavan when Sriman Mahaprabhu again travelled for Puri, then also he got opportunity to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But here it is been mentioned that how when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami he travelled toward Jagannath Puri, stayed with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for some time. Srila Maharaj mentioned that even though his father's name is Tapan Mishra and he is known as Raghunath Bhatt, so seems like these surnames are different. Generally, like if someone's father's surname is Mishra, that means son or daughter, they will also use the same surname. But here we see that even though his father is called Tapan Mishra, but still his son Raghunath, he is known as Raghunath Bhatt. So why it is like that? Srila Maharaj mentioned that a personality, a person who can remember one Veda completely, and he can chant all the mantras without consulting the book, that person has been given a designation, a upadhi, Bhattacharya. This is having nothing to do with one's family line. This is something which he received because of his learning. So that's why Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was so learned that one Veda completely he was able to learn completely and recite without consulting the book. So that's why he was known as Bhattacharya. Like Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, that was not his surname, but that was his designation. So in this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was, in this Bhattacharya Upadhi was not his surname out of his family line, but it was because of his learning. प्रभु के देखिते चले छाड़ी सर्व कार्य. He gave up everything, whatever activities he were engaged in Kashi, he gave up everything and wanted to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why he traveled to meet with him. काशी होते चलीला गौड़ पथ दिया, संगे ते सेवक एक चले झांपी लैया. He traveled from Kashi to Jagannath Puri via Gaud Desh. When he traveled, there was one sevak also who traveled with him. Srila Maharaj mentioned sometime when there are exhibitions or they paint Srila Raghunath Das Goswami or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as like portraits on the walls. What you call it, I don't know. It's like when they, like in the different temples in our Mathura Math, Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math, some leelas of the Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu or Radha Krishna is been dioramas. So when they are having this, generally they only put Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, but they don't go into the detail that what is really written. So unless and until one really reads or hears from the Vaishnavas, he can just have some rough idea but not real idea. But when Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, in reality he started traveling, he took one person along with him, and that person was carrying his belongings and whatever was required for on the way. मते रघुनाथ आइला नीला चले, महाप्रभुर चरणे गिया मिलिला कुतूहले. In this way, Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami came to Sri Jagannath Puri and he met Srila Raghunath Sriman Mahaprabhu with great bliss. Dandavat pranam kari padila charane. He offered himself completely at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu Raghunath jani kaila alingane. As soon as Mahaprabhu he saw Raghunath Bhatt has come, he embraced him. Bhalo haila aila dekho kamal lochan. Sriman Mahaprabhu mentioned that, oh, it is very good that you have come here in Jagannath Puri. Now you can go and have darshan of Kamal Lochan, that personality who is having his eyes like lotus, Lord Jagannath. You can go and have his darshan. Aji amar iha kariba prasad bhojan. And today you can honor prasadam with us at our place. Govindere kahi ek vasa deva ila. Sriman Mahaprabhu asked his sevak Govinda Prabhu that you can make arrangement for Raghunath Bhatt to stay somewhere in Jagannath Puri. Srila Maharaj mentioned this word vas. Vas and vasa. Vas means residence and vasa means temporary residence. Swarupadi Bhaktgan Sane Mila Ila. And then Sriman Mahaprabhu, he introduced him to Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Rai Ramanand Prabhu and all his associates in Jagannath Puri. एई मते प्रभु सने रहिला अष्ट मास दिने दिने प्रभु कृपाए बाड़ाए उल्लास. He was residing 8 months continuously in Jagannath Puri, and day after day, day by day, because of the association of Sriman Mahaprabhu along with his associates, he was feeling more and more happiness. His heart was ullas ko kya kahenge? Overjoyed. So this was his situation. Even though while Srila Maharaj was reading from Bengali book, there was something missing in the printing itself. So in short, I will also speak that Madhye Madhye Mahaprabhur Karena Nimantran. While Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was there in Jagannath Puri, he used to invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time to time for accepting, honoring prasadam at his place. Ghar bhat karen aar vivid vyanjan. He used to cook himself and used to prepare many things for Sriman Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Bhatt Pake Ati Sunipun. Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was very expert in cooking. Jai Randhe Sei Hai Amriter Sam. Whatever he used to cook, like Srimati Radhika, whatever she cooks, it was like thoda sa jagah de do this. Hari bol Prabhuji, let them come. Maharaj God brothers are here, so give them some space, please. So in this way, whatever he used to cook, like whatever Srimati Radhika she used to cook, like that was like nectar. So in the same way, whatever Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami he cooked, that was also like nectar.
इंसान
বলছেন ঘরে আসবো
परम संतोषे प्रभु करे न भोजन. Whatever Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was cooking, it was like nectar, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to relish it. Param Santoshe, and after accepting, honoring that whatever Raghunath Bhatt Goswami cooks, Mahaprabhu you get fully satisfied. Prabhur Avashisht Patra Bhattir Bhakshan. And Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami used to take only that, whatever was remaining. He used to take that. Ashtamas Rahi Prabhu Bhatte Viday Dila. After 8 months, Shriman Mahaprabhu, he asked Raghunath Bhatt Goswami to return to his place in Kashi. And he gave him one order. And what was that? Viva Nah Kariyo Boli Nished Karila. He prohibited him that don't get married. Viva na kariyo, don't get married. At this point, Srila Maharaj mentioned there were 2 associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who received this order from him directly. One was Raghunath Bhatt Goswami and another was Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Both of them, they received this order, as well as Sriman Mahaprabhu told them, Vriddha Pita Matar Jai Karoho Sevan. Your parents are now in advanced age and they are devotees. That's why you can serve them. Vaishnav Pas Bhagavat Karo Adhyan. And what you can do? You can study Srimad Bhagavatam from the Vaishnavas. At this point, Punarapi Ek Bar Asiyo Nila Chale. And once again, you definitely come to Jagannath Puri. So Srila Maharaj mentioned Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami came 2 times to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and each time he stayed for 8 months. That means altogether he was able to receive direct association of Sriman Mahaprabhu for 16 months in Jagannath Puri. And Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he was staying with Sriman Mahaprabhu continuously for 16 years. 16 months, 16 years. And then Srila Maharaj mentioned that why Sriman Mahaprabhu ordered him that jao Vaishnav Pas Bhagavad Karoho Adhyan, that you must study Bhagavatam under the guidance of a Vaishnava. Why? At this point Srila Maharaj mentioned that first Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, while he was instructing Sri Devananda Pandit, he also told him in Jagannath Puri that Jao Bhagavat Pado Vaishnav Erasthane. Even though you are a teacher of Bhagavat, you are having many students, but still you yourself don't know anything about the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam and real interpretations of the verses of Bhagavatam. That's why it is my noble advice to you that what you can do, Jao Bhagavat Pado Vaishnav Erasthane. You can go and study Srimad Bhagavatam from the Vaishnavas, under their guidance learn what is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Jao Bhagavat Pado Vaishnav Erasthane, Ekant Ashray Karo Chaitanya Charane, and surrender yourself one-pointedly at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Bhakta Sange Sada Koro Sango. Always associate with the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, because they accept the supremacy of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are really able to understand the deep truths which are being mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why you should always associate with them. Tabe to janite paro siddhanter tarango. That then and only then you can understand siddhanter taranga. Siddhantas of Bhagavat is like ocean. It's like very vast. And if you really associate with the Vaishnavas, then what will happen? You will be able to know one taranga ko kya kehte hain? Wave. Srila Maharaj mentions this, that like Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, this is like ocean. But when you associate with Vaishnavas, then you can understand somewhat of it. And like Sriman Mahaprabhu also mentioned to Rupa Goswami Pad, that this Bhakti Rasa is like ocean. I have made you taste only a one drop of it. So in this way, Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami also mentioning that when you will associate with Vaishnavas, then and only then you will be able to understand it. Then Srila Maharaj started elaborating on the same point, that why it is been advised that one has to only hear from, learn this Bhagavat from Vaishnavas, because each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is so special that it is having so many different interpretations and in primary and secondary meanings. So unless and until you are under the expert guidance of a pure Vaishnava, you may not be able to enter into the deep truths of the Bhagavatam. For this, Srila Maharaj gave 3 examples. First example, Srila Maharaj started speaking that how we hear that in Ras Leela, first Srimati Radhika, she left the arena of Ras, and then Shri Krishna also followed him. In this way, followed her. So in this way, he started searching for her. Then what happened? At this point, some devotees, they interpret that because Srimati Radhika, she was having some jealous mood in her heart, that because Krishna is giving same kind of attention to all the gopis, so that's why she was having man and she left. And then other devotees, Srila Maharaj mentioned, they explain that Srimati Radhika, she was not having man, but she was feeling so much pain in her heart that I am unable to serve Krishna completely. That's why he has to accept some services from other gopis also today. So this is also different interpretation. And then when Srimati Radhika, she left, and then Krishna, he started searching for her. Finally, when he found her, and then there were some pastimes like he was decorating Srimati Radhika and then having different other pastimes. But while they were walking in the forest, Srimati Radhika expressed that I am feeling tired. I cannot walk anymore. So at that time Krishna said, you can sit on my shoulders. And he almost sat down so that she can climb. But then at the same time Krishna disappeared. So then at this point also Srila Maharaj mentioned some devotees, they interpret that Srimati Radhika, she is Krishna's servant. Maybe topmost servant, but still she is servant. And Krishna is the master. So that's why, how come that when she desired that she can even accept service from the master, that's why Krishna, to establish this truth that he is the master of everybody and nobody is allowed to take service from him. That's why to teach this, he left that place. But then Srila Maharaj mentioned, but our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, what they explain that Krishna, who is having very great favor for Srimati Radhika, what he felt in his heart, that the gopis, those who are searching, other gopis, they are searching for Srimati Radhika as well as searching me. Now they are very close. As soon as they will see that I am with Srimati Radhika, they will feel enmity toward her and they will feel jealous. So that's why if I will disappear from here, then what will happen? She will be also crying, and then by seeing her in such a situation, all these gopis, they will be having sympathy for Srimati Radhika. So with this mood, Krishna, he disappeared from there, and then Srimati Radhika felt unconscious. When the gopis, they approached her, they really had sympathy for her, that oh, at least we are able to search for Krishna, but she is in such a pity condition that she cannot even search for him. She is fully unconscious. So in this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned that in each and every step there are many different interpretations, and which one is really suitable for the mood of pure devotees, for the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is only possible to know when one associates with the pure Vaishnavas and learn Bhagavatam under their guidance. And then second example Srila Maharaj gave is of that there are devotees, there are people who say that Srimati Radhika's name is not there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimati Radhika's name is not mentioned at all. But then Srila Maharaj mentioned that once they associate with the Vaishnavas, then they will be able to understand that that is not true. Srimati Radhika's name appears many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sometimes Srila Maharaj mentions that Prabhupada used to say that in each and every verse it is possible to show that the name of Srimati Radhika is there. And then Srila Maharaj, he himself mentions also that how is it possible for Shukdev Goswami or for Srila Vyasadeva that without mentioning the name of their Ishtadev, Srimati Radhika, they can even start writing or reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why he mentions in the very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is invocation verse, in that verse two words appear, and that is Anvay and Itara. And then Srila Maharaj mentions what is the meaning of Anvay and what is the meaning of Itara. Even though there are many interpretations about this also, But our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya, how they interpret Anvay means Anu-aya, means that personality who follows somebody. Anvay means a personality, a person who follows somebody. So here Vedavyasa, he is indicating that I am the worshipper of that Krishna who follows the footsteps of Srimati Radhika. That means Srila Maharaj just now, the pastime which he was mentioning from Rasa Leela, that when Srimati Radhika, she left Rasa, Krishna, he started like searching for her and following her footsteps. So that Krishna who is following the footsteps of Srimati Radhika, Vedavyasa is mentioning, I am the worshipper of that Krishna, Anvaya. And then Itara. Itara means Advitya, Srila Maharaj mentions. Ditya. So Srila Maharaj mentions Itara means Dvitya. Dvitya means if we say that Anvay, a person is following somebody, that means there is some another person to whom he is following. And who is that? That is Srimati Radhika. So in this way, in the first verse itself, Srila Vedavyasa, he is mentioning the name of Srimati Radhika. But still, Srila Maharaj mentioned in the language of Srila Kaviraj Goswami, he mentions that Ullu kena dekhai jeno surje kiran. Ullu, owl is unable to see the sun rays. Even though sun is there, sun rays are there, but owl, because of his incapability, he cannot see them. In the same way, even though in Bhagavatam the name of Srimati Radhika is there, but still those people, those who are like owl, they cannot get entrance into it and they cannot see it. And then the third example Maharaj gave is about Sudama. That when Sudama, he traveled to Dwarika, when he came to Dwarika, what happened that Krishna, he welcomed him, gave him a very good seat to sit on, washed his feet, took the Charanamrit, gave to all his family members also. And Sudama, he was feeling reluctant to even sit there. Why? Because he was externally, he was a very poor Brahmin and his clothes were also torn many places. And he was feeling that even the servants of Krishna's palace, they are much more superior than me. I am here, but still Krishna is giving me so much respect. Maybe because I am Brahmin, but still he was hesitant. He was feeling uncomfortable. And then finally, what happened? That Krishna, he himself, this was like Srila Maharaj mentioned, this was Maryada Rasa, when there is awe and reverence. But then because Krishna is Vidagdha, he knows at what time which rasa is to be manifested. So that's why he manifested one another rasa. And what was that? That was like Hasya Ras. Hasya Ras he manifested, or Maharaj kuch aur bola tha. Okay, he manifested some other rasa. And what was that? He wanted him to feel comfortable. So he asked him that, oh Sudama, you remember, one time our Guru Mata in Ujjain, she asked us to go to the forest and collect some woods. And she gave you some chickpeas. I didn't even knew about it, but Guru Mata gave you and said that on the way we can eat if we feel hungry. And then what happened in the forest? Heavy rain was there, and then both of us, we climbed on the tree. We were sitting, shivering, and I heard some sound that you are chewing something, eating something. And when I asked you that, oh, I'm like feeling that you are eating something, I hear some sound. At that time you told me that, oh, you are daydreaming. Because of cold, my teeth is like shattering. So my teeth are shattering, and you are considering that I am eating something. So in this way, Krishna made him feel like more friendly. This rasa was being manifested by him. And then again he asked him that, oh Sudama, we are meeting after a long time. I am married definitely you are also married, na? Then he like, yes, I am also married. Then he said, nodded. So then Krishna asked him that your wife must have given something for me, na? That you are going to meet with your friend, so take something with you. Then Sudama, because he was feeling too much shy, he was having, Maharaj mentioned that some people say that he took some broken rice with him, or some people mention there that he took some flat rice with him. But Srila Maharaj mentioned both things can be interpreted according to the word which is used in Sanskrit over there. So that's why whatever he brought, he was keeping it into armpit and then hiding it. Did not want it to show, having this mood in his heart that this thing, but to speak of Krishna, his servants, even the animals around, they will not accept. How can I give him this? He was thinking this in his heart. And the Lord, who is all knower, he said, oh, I can see your habit of keeping something hidden has not gone till now. So that's why he started like, oh, you are hiding something under your armpit, and forcefully took that cheap rice from him and started eating. So in this way, many days passed in Dwarika. Sudama was there, and then the time came when he left. But the message which he wanted to give, he was unable to speak. He never gave that message to Krishna. His wife asked him that you always mention about your friend Krishna, who has become Dwarikadish now. If it is possible, you can go and ask for some help. Srila Maharaj mentions that Sudama agreed and he came. But afterward, what happened when Sudama is going from Dwarika to his house? At that time in his heart, he is thinking that, oh, if my wife will ask that, oh, what Krishna's reply was. You requested him, what was his reply? What answer I will give her? I have not even introduced this subject matter to Krishna. I have not even spoken with him. What I will tell him? Well, what I will tell her? Then he again himself started saying that, oh, I did not told Krishna that I am having cheap rice with me. But still he understood that I am having something. So in the same way, he must have understood that what is there in my heart, what I want to tell him. But still, like he was going, unable to think that what answer should be given to his wife. Little distress was there in his mind that what answer I will give. So Srila Maharaj, he mentioned that our Acharyas, Vaishnava Acharyas, they interpret at this place that Krishna, because when Sudama reached, he saw the palace was already there, all the facilities were there. When Krishna, he wanted to provide everything to Sudama, why did not he mention him in Dwarika itself? That, oh Sudama, I know your heart, you have come with some special request that will be fulfilled, don't worry. Because Krishna is known as a person who is Bhaktarti Har. That personality, those who removes all kind of arti, distress of his devotees. He is unable to see his devotees in distress. But why he was unable to tell anything to Sudama? Why he kept him in distress for some time when he was going from Dwarika to his house? And then Lord is known as Bhakta Vatsal. He is having Vatsalya for his devotees. But still, he did not mention anything to him. Why it is like that? So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he mentions that because out of 64 special qualities of the Lord, he is having one special quality which is known as Lajja. That he is also having shyness. Why Lord becomes shy? Then Srila Maharaj mentioned that what to speak of Lord, even a gentle person in this world, if he gives his words to somebody that, oh, I will do this thing for you, or I am going to fulfill this desire of yours, and if he is unable to do that, he asks for forgiveness, he asks for apology, he feels embarrassed, and then What to speak of Lord? He is also having this shyness, and it is being expressed in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Maharaj mentions especially two places. One place about Sudama, another place about Gopis. He mentions that even though in the this pastime of Sudama, these words are not been used, na pare aham, but still Krishna is using these words for Sudama also. That even though I have given my words that I will fulfill, yatha mam prapadyante tams tathai bhajamyaham. Whoever will worship me with whatever mood, I will also worship him accordingly. But in the case of Sudama, I am failed because he begged for me. I cannot beg from anybody. Everything belongs to me, but I can beg. From where I can beg? So, because I am unable to fulfill my words, because Sudama, he begged for Krishna, na? This cheap rice, whatever he brought, he begged for Krishna. But Krishna, he is feeling in his heart, where I can go and beg. Everything belongs to me. So that's why my words are proven wrong at this place. So that's why he felt lajja, shyness, embarrassment in his heart. So that's why he was unable to tell, but he fulfilled his desire. So in this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned all these things, all these details of Bhagavatam, unless and until we take complete shelter of Vaishnava Acharyas, read under their guidance, we cannot understand that what are the deep truths and what is the real understanding of each and everything of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was being advised by Srila Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that once you are there in Kashi, you must study Srimad Bhagavatam, but from a Vaishnava. In this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned, unless and until one is having the mercy of Vaishnavas, one sincerely surrender at their lotus feet, one cannot really enter into the deep mystery of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Maharaj mentioned, when Sriman Mahaprabhu gave him this order that don't get married, and at the same time, once you are there, study Srimad Bhagavat, then what he did, that eto kahi kantha mala dila tar gale. He took this prasadi mala of Lord Jagannath, what he was having around his neck, he took that out and gave to Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami as a blessing. So Srila Maharaj at this point again he commented that wherever there is priti, affection, love, there it is like there no reservation is there to give one's own garland which one is wearing to somebody else. So that's why giving garland in itself, which Mahaprabhu himself was wearing, and then he took it out and gave to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, shows that he was having lot of affection for him, and there was no awe and reverence relationship among them. Otherwise he would have not given. That's why Srila Maharaj mentioned, for those people where their relationship, in the relationship there is awe and reverence, where there is some reservation, then like somebody does not give their garland which they are wearing to somebody else. Like the other day, our Pandaji was here from Govardhan, Giridhari Lal Panda, and then Maharaj was having 2 garlands around his neck, and then he was asking me that is there any other garland inside we can give to Pandaji. Then as usual I said that you are having 2, I can take one of your garland and give him. And then Maharaj said that how can I give my garland to him? So he said no, if any new garland is there we can offer him, otherwise not. So why? Because the reason today Maharaj mentioned that for those for whom we have affection, I can give for them, but for those I am having some awe and reverence relationship, I cannot give them my garland which I am having around my neck. So this is what also Maharaj mentioned. And then the last thing he mentioned that आलिंगन करी प्रभु तारे विदाय दिला प्रेमे गद गद भट्ट कांदी तेला गिला. That Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, when he received this order from Sriman Mahaprabhu as well as his Prashadi Mala, his eyes immediately started flowing prem ashru. The tears started flowing from his eyes, which was the tears of prema. Prem ashru started flowing from his eyes. So Srila Maharaj mentioned there are two different kind of tears. One kind of tear comes out of one's eyes because of love, because of happiness, and another kind of tear comes from one's eye when he is feeling pain. So the tears which came from the eyes of Raghunath Bhatt Goswami at this place, that was the tears which is known as Prem Ashru. Out of love that, oh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful to me. While having this mood in his heart, he cried a lot. So till this point, Srila Maharaj spoke to him. Hare Krishna.